guys, welcome back to my channel. I know this is kind of a new little area here. The kids are down there playing and sleeping, so this is kind of the not sleeping, playing. So this is just the best spot that I could find for just a little quiet and with the best lighting as well. But this video, I know it's a little bit different for Vlogmas, but I wanted to talk about this video and kind of really just release it. You know, it's been on my mind for a while. I feel like it's finally time that I talk about it. So I'm just gonna talk about my birth story with baby number 3, little man. I'm going to put like a trigger warning. You know, there's gonna be some talk about epidural, depression, all that kind of and things of the like on there. So this is your trigger warning right now. I'm just gonna jump right into it. It's kind of a little difficult to really talk about and stuff. So I apologize in advance if feels like I'm stumbling over my words. But just kind of start off. He was born on May 17th. So 2 days before, my husband came home for lunch, and you know, I started having contractions. So I'm like, okay, you know, maybe we should probably go to the hospital. Now, before all of this, I want to say maybe a week or two. You know how like during pregnancy, I think maybe like 35 weeks or so, you start going to your OBs every week and they check your cervix. So I was between the 36, almost 37 weeks, almost full term. So they checked my cervix. I was already 2 centimeters dilated, I believe, and I was already 50% effaced. So we're just like, okay, this is going to go quick, because that's just how it was with the 2 older sisters. It went really, really quick. Eden, go watch Mulan, okay? Okay. I'm coming. Thank you. And then with my last doctor's appointment, they didn't check my cervix. So, you know, I was really, really upset about it. I was telling my husband, you know, that was the height of COVID, you know, so he couldn't come. I was like, oh, why didn't they check my cervix? Normally they should check it every single appointment. And she just figured, oh, she was surprised to see me there, because she's like, you know, with your last appointment, you're progressing really fast. So I just assumed that, you know, that you would just be in labor and have the baby already, kind of a thing. And she was just like, you know, you're full term now, 37 weeks, or about to be 37 weeks. So I'm not gonna check you. It's gonna let your body do what your body does, pretty much. And I was like, oh, fine, whatever. I'll just deal with that. I was upset, but I was like, okay, fine. So when we get to the doctors, when I started having contractions, they checked me and they're like, oh, you're 4 centimeters and you're, I think I was still 50% effaced. So we're just like, okay. The last 2 pregnancies, when I was 4 centimeters, they keep you in, and then my effacement, I guess, just continued to progress really, really fast after that. So they were like, okay, we're gonna decide to keep you, though your contractions aren't strong enough, just because you're 4 centimeters and this is your 3rd child, labor is gonna go by pretty quickly. Or so we thought. So they're like, all right, cool. Do you want any epidural? I was like, no, I don't want an epidural. So they admitted me, and this is just where the process continued, pretty much. And we were there, dropped off the girls to my in-laws, and everything was good. We were ready. This is our 3rd time around. Cool. Like, this is easy peasy. And we were just waiting, and then the doctor came in. They're like, would you like to be induced? And I was like, no, I don't want to be induced, because the contractions were super, super painful with my first 2 pregnancies. I do not want to be induced. She was like, okay, cool. I had a black woman doctor, by the way, so that was really, really awesome. She's like, okay, cool. She comes in again. I wasn't dilating fast enough. I was effacing, I think that's the word, but I wasn't dilating fast enough. So they were just like, okay, cool, everything is fine, you know, but we just want to check in. Do you want to induce? I was like, no, I do not want to be induced. I don't like how they made my contractions feel. I don't like it. I don't want it. So like, okay, cool. A few hours go by. They're just like, okay, you're still not dilating. What do you want to do? At this point, my contractions were getting really, were hurting, but they weren't unbearable yet anyways. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll get induced. Cool. Like, let's just go ahead and do this. So obviously I get induced when the contractions have reached the unbearable point. This sucks. I don't like this. This is why I didn't want to get induced in the first place. I'm in pain. I don't like this. I don't like how this feels. Like, I'm telling my husband, like, this is ridiculous. I don't like this. Now, I feel like by the time they started my Pitocin, I think we were about maybe a day in. Now, I was in labor for about 26 to 28 hours, okay? So they started my Pitocin. I still wasn't dilating. I think I was up to 20, I don't know the measurements, but like 20 millimeters or something like that of Pitocin, and I was not dilating. Like, I was stuck between like a 4 or 5. And they even broke my water within that 28 hour period time. And even after that, I still wasn't dilating fast enough. So my husband and I were just looking at each other like, oh my gosh, like, we might need a C-section. They broke my water. And we know that, you know, when your water breaks, you know, it's kind of, you know, time is of the essence. You know, his protection is not there anymore. Like, so I didn't want to get a C-section or anything like that. So we're just like praying, my God, like, what's going on? Like, this is not what we want. My husband, like, and I, we joked, we're like, listen, if we have to get a C-section, I was taking the whole entire organ out. I'm like, nope, I'm done. This is our last baby. I'm over it. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done being pregnant. Like, I am completely and utterly finito. But, you know, thank God for our OB and the nurses. You know, they didn't mention C-section just yet. You know, his heart rate, you know, was good. My heart rate, it was fine. But I was just still stalled pretty much. So hours keep going, you know, and I'm just like telling my husband, I was like, I don't think I can do these contractions anymore. Like, I'm in serious pain. I don't want to do this. And he's just like, babe, like, you don't have to just be strong. You know, if you want to take the epidural, take the epidural. So I was like, all right, cool. I got the epidural, and it was literally the best thing ever. For the first 2 pregnancies, I didn't have an epidural. And thinking back on it, I kind of regret not getting the epidural because, you know, if y'all watched my other 2 birth stories, I know it was just a struggle going through those contractions. And it was just, that's one of the biggest regrets, is not taking the epidural my first 2 pregnancies. But they got the epidural, everything was peachy, you know, it worked instantly. I was really scared, but the doctor, the anesthesiologist, I feel like I butchered that, but y'all know what I mean. He was very nice. He explained everything that was going on. He even coached me through a contraction. You know, all of that went smooth sailing. I'm so grateful for that. And I didn't feel anything. Like, literally my legs were like made out of stone. So it worked very well. So after that, even after I had the epidural, you know, the doctor said, you know, that may or may not like help progress me and stuff. So she comes in and checks. I think I was still stuck at like 80% effaced. So we had this wonderful nurse. I wish I could remember her name. But she was just like, okay, let's just try this one thing before anything else. So she gave me like the peanut ball, and she made me lay on the side. And I was like, okay, this is cool. You know, she helped me because I couldn't move myself. So it's just like, okay, let's just wait this out. Let's just see before the doctors come in. And I was like, all right, cool. And then, you know, mind you, I can't feel anything. Like, I could feel it, but like, I can't feel it. You know, my legs are really heavy. So I was telling my husband, I was just like, I think I feel some pressure down there. I wasn't sure if I was able to, because my first time getting an epidural, so I wasn't sure if I would feel anything per se. But I was like, I feel some pressure down there. And then he was like, okay, let me go ahead and call the nurse. So he calls the nurse, and she was like, see, I knew it, like this would probably help. Like, she was wonderful. She was doing everything in her power, y'all, for me to like not get a C-section pretty much. I just feel like, you know. And so she calls in the doctor. I'm like, yeah, I think she's ready to push. And I was like, okay. It's like, are you ready to push? I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to push. You know, they coach me through it because, like, once again, my legs feel like stone. So they coach me through all of that. They're like, okay, go ahead and push. And it was just, I think maybe 5 pushes. I think I was like pushing maybe for like 30 minutes. So like, that's the shortest one out of all of the kids' amount of time that I was pushing. So so that was nice. Smooth sailing. He was healthy. He was 7 pounds, I believe, and I think maybe 3 ounces or something like that. I don't remember. Mom brain. Plus that was like 7 months ago. So he was a very healthy, normal baby weight. And you know, I was really relieved and scared, you know, because we didn't know what was going to happen. And you know, after he was born, the doctor was just like, you know, if this didn't work, like, you would have had a C-section. We were all like joking and like talking about it and stuff. He is the only child that did not rip me, pretty much. I had a full degree tear with my first. I had a half degree with my second, and he's the only child that didn't rip me. So I was so good, like, after pregnancy, like, you know, when they put me in the recovery room, I was like walking around, I was fixing stuff. You know, my husband's like, sit down, like, what are you doing? I was like, I feel great, like, you know. I don't know if it was because I didn't rip or because it's like my 3rd pregnancy. Like, it's like, I feel fine, like, this is awesome. Like, I was moving. Even after having the epidural, like, I didn't have any of the side effects either. So that was awesome. You know, I felt good. Like, everything was just really smooth sailing. It was literally one of the smoothest recoveries and labors that I've had. The first 2 were just the pain. Oh my gosh. And you know, he's 7 months. By the time you guys see this video, he'll be 7 months. So I wanted to kind of do this video in kind of an honor for his half birthday, and just to kind of have it have that memory, so I know what happened and things like that. And I guess the reason why it took me so long was because when I found out that, you know, we were pregnant, it was really unexpected. And I personally was just not in the mental and emotional and physical headspace for that, because I feel like my little child, I think she was 9 or 10 months, something like that, between 8 to 10 months when we found out we were pregnant with our 3rd. So I was just like, oh my gosh, like, this is just terrible timing. Like, this is too soon. This is not what we planned. And for 6 months, I was really angry. I was angry at myself. I was angry at the situation. I was like, this is not what I want. And just going to therapy, talking to my husband about it, and my mom about it as well. Like, and other moms too who felt the same way that I did. And just working through that and just accepting that, you know what, like, that's okay. It's okay to be disappointed. It's okay to be angry. Just feel your feelings and take it a step at a time, you know. But I just felt ashamed because, you know, I was so excited with my first 2, and he's our only boy. And even finding out that he was a boy, I was still pretty upset, because I'm like, I didn't want to have a baby so soon afterwards. I wanted my body to fully heal and I just was not in a good place mentally or emotionally. But God knows what's best, and he's just been such a joy. His sisters are obsessed with him. He's the sweetest boy, and I am so thankful that he's in our lives. And you know, I'm okay and he's okay, because the 28 hours were very, very tough, because we didn't see our kids for 2.5 days. You know, we were just stuck in that hospital, and on top of that with COVID, like, you know, that's just was very, very difficult. And not being able to see my parents either, because my parents came to see Eden. They also came to see JoJo when they were born. So my parents just recently, if you watched my last vlog, just saw him, and he was 6 months. So that was really, really tough. But that's just kind of the gist of it, of my birth story. Short and sweet. You know, I just wanted to do a video in honor of him, and just kind of have like a kind of intimate moment with you guys. You know, I'm getting more and more comfortable with this vlogging thing. And comment down below if you guys kind of like this area here. The lighting keeps going in and out, so I do apologize for that. I just noticed it. But this little background here, I'll spruce it up. Anyways, that is the end of my video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being part of the family, and just liking my videos and watching and supporting me. I appreciate it more than you guys will ever know. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.